Hello, everybody, and welcome back to my China versus Ethiopia series. Thank you so much for being understanding with the new series. For those who missed the first part, I want to do a quick recap. Had a pretty bad start, and so what we did was we researched animal husbandry first, so we'd get some quality tiles into our capital's borders. Opened with Liberty and built a warrior after the Scout Monument. And because our first two units got upgrades from ruins, we were basically able to go to war with Kuala Lumpur, get a worker there, go to war with Ethiopia, not only get a worker from them, but also take out two of their warriors and a scout for free. And because we did so much damage, we sued for peace, got a nice cash settlement, as well as some gold per turn. So basically, we took what was going to be a crappy start and turned it into a pretty awesome start. So that is a good beginning. And we are about to finish research and trapping, so I'm going to have these two workers here. We have 3 workers total, but because the capital is how it is, we favored trapping ahead of all the other techs just so we can get the city online a little quicker. It's just probably more valuable overall. And so yeah, that's why we got 2 workers working on this city. Chances are we're going to be able to steal another one sooner rather than later. So let's go ahead and build into warrior. We took a quick pause on our military just to be able to get the paper maker out quickly. So let's go ahead and heal him up, and he's actually going to chop the wood. So the warrior is going to come out a turn sooner. For that reason, I might actually have the archer and warrior come up to this camp. It's the only objective we have at the moment. I'm going to keep an eye on Ethiopia because we just don't know enough about his land. This kind of looks like coast through here. So for all we know, he's actually painted in a corner. And if that's accurate, then that means that we're going to be his first exposure to the rest of the world. And hopefully, by the time the peace treaty ends, we can make use of that. But that all remains to be seen. This looks like a landline there, so probably only actually has one ocean access. So I don't know how useful a port city would be in attacking him, but getting a little ahead of ourselves. Now that trapping is finished, we'll move on to calendar. So this guy basically has nothing to do but do a farm. Let's see, this farm already has 2 turns put to it, but it would take 2 turns to get over there, so I'm just going to sit tight and develop the one that is right next to us. Because eventually one of these workers are going to be coming back, or maybe we get another worker from up here who can just as easily come through here. So we don't actually have to get to that specific farm tile just because it is already started in development. Okay, so he's going to start heading back down to Kuala Lumpur, see if we can get another worker. We'll do it this way just for visibility's sake. Yeah, so all in all, things are looking pretty good. It's actually pretty incredible. Like, I'm really glad the start went the way it did because it serves to illustrate exactly how much a bad start doesn't necessarily have to be that way. So let's see, the warrior will come up through here because there's like lack of rough through here, and that means we'll have the scouty type come over here for just added visibility since he can move through the rough without penalty. Alright, let's build one more warrior just because we have no home defense at the moment. We'll get him out of there. Luckily this didn't close up, so that's pretty good. Okay, so we'll probably have him come up on the hill here for visibility and then just keep bouncing out here to see what Ethiopia's up to. Okay, where do we grow here? Unfortunately, that puts us into unhappiness. So let's go ahead and adjust our tiles real quick towards proper production. Once the truffles are online, that'll be alleviated, so this is just a temporary measure. Kathmandu targets the camp we're going for? Nice. Alright, we were already heading that way, so that works out. Let's see here. If I attack this, the fact that it's an archer over the river in the rough, we're probably severely favored. Yeah, it looks like it. We're unhappy, but that's only 2%. So I think I'll attack him. And the reason because if we don't, he might go to Bratislava, but he might come our way. But we do have a warrior being produced, so I don't want to put too much effort. But this actually keeps us on this side of the river. We can next turn move there. Keep an eye on both this and this in theory, because I assume his next border growth is going to be right there. So we don't want to necessarily get on top of that tile. So I think that works out. Keep on heading up there. Visibility is going well. We'll build a scout soon. Until we have 2 sugars, it's not really that important. Because we have reason to believe that we're pretty much as far west as we're going to be, and the tundra suggests we're like right on top of the north, we've identified several possible expands, but I think expanding to the southeast first makes the most sense, just because that's going to be stabbing at the heart of the continent, so to speak. This is getting a little out of control, and the only reason I was tangling with them is to defend the homeland, so I'll have him come down here and start looking. He can heal up while we wait for a worker to appear there. Let's see, we'll get some visibility before we launch our attack. And he keeps peeking on that. Workers are all good to go, everything's set. Let's go. Okay. Bratislava seeks a great scientist. That's going to be off in the distance. So all of these workers are finishing what they're doing. Happiness is now restored. So let us work 2 good growth tiles and 2 good production tiles. And then, of course, fix the tiles in this city. Heading up. Looks like we should be able to safely step up here and shoot. That's good. Okay, he's choosing to follow us. But now he's on this side of the river, so, and he doesn't have his warrior buddy. So yeah, there we go. That's really good. Keep taking peeks over here. Stay close to home though, so that we can defend in case like a camp spawns here. Or I think we just had visibility there, so no camp there. But trying to keep things good like that. Alrighty, so promotion time. Second rough. If we move here, oh cool. He'll run away. That gives us 2 turns to heal up. No, he'll run away, we'll heal up once, and then he'll come back and we'll scoop him. And at that point we should have enough health that even if he's got a little bit of military, we can withstand it. Alright, so thinking granary first, because all of our tiles in the capital are going to be 2 food, with the exception of Grass River, or the grass farms, which are only 3 food. I don't like that if I can avoid it, but we don't want to avoid it. We just don't want to be working all our citizens on river farms. So let's build a granary. That'll help with the science. And then we'll probably build a caravan just to, because we're about to get friends with them. Oh look, let's ask for tribute. Nice. 80 gold. Oh, they were under the protection of Ethiopia, so that's unfortunate, but we don't care about our diplomacy there anyways, so yeah. Alright, so what, calendar's finished? No, it will be finished next turn though, so let's just do that. There was a warrior here, and I'm going to bring this warrior down, not only to potentially greet that warrior, but also to help down here if we need the help. And then if not, we can always head back to town. So, we already have 1 worker in this city, and that's actually right on the edge of everything we need. After calendar, we'll be researching masonry, so he can come here, and then maybe this worker can come up through here. So over here, I think I'm going to leave these 2 guys here. This is a grassland tile, this is hill, and that's plain. So I think chopping down the tiles on these, and then of course we'll be growing into the deer. So Yeah, keeping these 2 workers over here and having these 2 workers do this, probably ideal. Okay. He's making a go for it. Where do we find our trade deals? Is it diplomacy? Deal history. Ends on 68, but that's because we had like a 30 turn gold, right? Began on 38, so on 48, we'll be able to wage war again. So maybe we block him for now. He'll come around, we'll block him again, and either he'll take the slow path through rough, or he'll try to come back here. I just want to stall him out. Maybe we have the archer come here, and then if, assuming this works out in our favor, we can just have the warrior come over here. Kind of wish I had seen that before I moved this warrior, just because it would have been a lot quicker to get him over there. But it's going to take some time for the archer to get over there, so we'll see how it goes. In fact, if I have... Okay, he is willing to do the dance. So I'll dance with him for now, the idea being just to slow him down. We don't actually know what's going to happen here, so I'm thinking what I'll do is if I move the warrior here and everything turns out fine, we can come here to here and like greet him from the east. Probably be just as quick as here and maybe even a little more obstructive, so that's fine. That's fine. Because of the need of the archer down here, I'm just going to try and take this camp on with just the warrior, even if it spawns another unit in the meantime. He's got archers. We'll clear the camp and get the credit and then evacuate. So I'm just going to have him head on down. And then once the warrior's done here, he can be the home defense while everybody else is dealing with our 2 war partners on the masonry. That will allow us to work this tile and then of course start clearing the marsh over here. 14 turns until either we get the next one or this. So if we do end up having an extra worker, maybe we can pre-clear the marsh here. Quite honestly, I would rather have the cattle tile because we can put a hammer on that by developing it. And we don't actually need the duplicate of sugar, especially since this will probably be our first expand. And then this will probably be our second. So we're getting sugar everywhere. In fact, for that reason, we might not even have the option of settling here next. We might have to come over here and get the ivory because it's unique and we can do a circus. But we'll look into that. The fact that we're going to clear this and we can also establish trade route, we might be able to get ally status with them and get the furs. So, yeah. Anyways, let's start chopping these woods down. And we're about to get the monument, so this production we get from chopping the forest down will go towards the paper maker, which will free this city up to be our primary military generator, which is fantastic. Alright, we got a pretty good amount of health. Let's see what... Alright, so what we have here is we're in the rough. We've got double rough promotion, and we might get hit twice. I think that's going to be perfectly fine. Very easy to withstand. In fact, because this is a spearman and this is just an archer, it's entirely possible the AI will actually hide his unit in the city, so we'll actually only just get hit by the city bombard and we can just extract him. So let's see here. We just grew to the deer, so I think let's go ahead and assign paper maker because that's obviously going to be what we do. If I continue chopping here, we'll get some immediate production, but if I come here and add a hammer, we'll have long-term production, and of course this worker can finish that up or something. And I'm trying to favor long-term decisions because the way everything works in Civ, you know, like happiness, food, production, science, like everything's interrelated, and if you start shortchanging one for short-term games, you're really setting yourself up for deficiencies. And I think as a Civ 5 player, that's actually one of my weaknesses. So I'm going to go with the more long-term solution. And looks like we'll be able to clear that camp without anything being spawned. And now we have faith income. And keep in mind, we did meet them first, so we got a nice chunk of faith already. So we might be on our way to a pantheon. It says 16 turns. We might be able to establish a caravan before that. In fact, right after the granary, I think I'll send them a caravan. We got enough military, we should be able to keep an eye on these dark lands. So yeah. Right. So that means this guy can start heading over here. And let's see. It's going to take some time for these units to go over here. So maybe for the time being, we'll block him one last time. It is kind of instructive that he came back down here rather than cutting through here. So he clearly wants to go east. And maybe we can steer him into a puddle of... Ooh! Camp here. Who told us about that? Panama City? Oh, look at that. 12 turns until they get over it. So that's not bad. And we're already going to have a heavy military presence here because we got this guy coming and this guy coming. Alright, look at that. Nice, nice, nice. Okay. So he might actually come here, because if I come here, then I'm just going to end up here anyways, and this is technically safer. If I sit tight, he'll probably come here, because we've already established he wants to go east. That's too soon, so let me, one more time, we'll make him come through here, and then he'll come in to block up the backside, he'll block the front, he'll be coming in from the north. We should be able to get some attacks of, like, shoot, and then 2 melees with double flanking bonus. I think that's going to be really effective. Alright, let's go with visibility there. Okay. So the fact that they targeted this camp way down here means there's probably not a camp that spawned here. Might be more beneficial, because we get back to home. Yeah, we'll cut through there with that warrior. Wow, that's really great. Because making friends with them brings food to the capital, and the capital, I'd like to see it at least at 6 pop. Sooner rather than later. So yeah, okay, so let's go ahead and chop that up, and this will be developed near the time we get to 3rd pop, and we'd get to 3rd pop before we get to the farm here. So we kind of got to figure out what our workers are going to be doing. Let's see here. 2 turns until we have a free settler, and we're probably going to be settling down here. 5 turns until masonry's finish. This guy's going to be done next turn. So we could have him sitting on that, right? So it says 5 to go, 4 to go, 3 to go, 2 to go. We'd have to sit tight for a couple turns. 5 turns. Oh, he can move this turn. Alright, so we already have more workers than we need, and we're about to get another one, in theory. So I'm thinking, because we got the warrior coming back to the home base, maybe we have these guys come sit on where our new expand is. And that way, before we actually start throwing... Oh, no. Okay. I might have to retract that. But for now, let's do this. I was going to say, we could heal up, maybe get some scouting, see if somebody else is coming to settle it before we do, so we don't waste our time. But if he's there and he's coming for us, like, we're going to have to maneuver around that. We do not have the health. I mean, we have the advantage that hand axes won't step and shoot same turn, but other than that, we're at a disadvantage here. Alright, so that's not bad. Let's just heal up for the time being. We'll have those two sit tight for a moment. Peace treaty expired. Okay, we are greenlit for war with Ethiopia. That's fantastic. Alright. And if we are going to end up here, might as well take a quick side jog for visibility. Really happy to see that it's an archery camp. That'll be very quick and easy to dispatch. I don't know the fact that they targeted it on that turn, if that means it appeared that turn, or they were just getting tired of it. So it might throw off another unit in the meantime. I hope not, because I really want to be able to cut through here. But then again, if it does throw off another one, it's going to be hassling him as well. Or at least zona controlling his freedom of movement. So, because the settler comes out next turn, probably here, which is unfortunate because it just takes longer to get to where we would want them to be. Masonry is coming, but it's not here yet. I'm thinking maybe let's start moving him over here. When we capture this guy, it's going to be right here. This is about to go to 3 pop. We're going to have a decent developed third tile for it. So we have time to put the farm here. We have time to chop this down and put up a mine here. I think our workers are going to be better off in the east for now. Because maybe after the trade route for Kathmandu, we can like build another settler and try to grab this. If we can. We might have to grab this one next just because of the unique luxury. So we kind of do need a scout. I don't want to use the money on any of this, right? Because we're going to have a number of warriors, and then this city is going to be bumping out unit after unit. So we'll probably do archery after masonry just to go to wheel so our workers have that much more to do. So we're going to be spitting out a bunch of warriors, a bunch of archers and stuff. Money's already taking a hit, and that's with a deal with Ethiopia for 5 gold per turn, which is going to evaporate when we declare war. So I'm trying to hold on to as much of this money for military upgrades. Yes, we're going to go into the honor tree, but we're already going to have a number of units to upgrade before we can get to the policy that makes upgrades cheaper. So for now, let's just come down here. This way, if this camp happens to relax, we can do like a strike on it, but I don't want to do that. I want to save my health for Ethiopia, especially since they have the benefit of combat bonus strength against civs with more cities, and we certainly qualify for that. So let's try to avoid that. Most well-fed people. We're up there. That's pretty good. And here it comes. Policy Settler. Alright, and there's our third pop. This is a better tile than this, even though this is developed and this is not. And of course this is about to get even better. So that's how I will work that. Bratislava under attack. That's actually good. That means we're not. Unfortunately, this means we're going to have to withdraw. Okay. Surprisingly, Ethiopia didn't come out, so I'm not sure why that is. This is quite unfortunate because with these guys here, we're not going to be able to settle with this spearman in the health that he is. We might be able to step if we were just carrying the settler, but we're also carrying the worker. So let us do at least this. Yeah, because if we choose to settle over here, it's going to take us 2 turns to get into these hills either way. So this way gives us the closest route to down here. I don't want to break up this military detachment, like send this warrior over here. This warrior is coming, but obviously it's going to take him some time. If I come over here, here, maybe that's quicker. It certainly would be if we end up having to divert the settler to the northeast. So yeah, I think that's going to be the way we have to go. Luckily we're not in range of any Kuala Lumpur military. Let's see here. This worker's heading over here, and this worker can use this time to actually get nestled into the marsh. So yeah, alright. Well, at least we'll be able to eliminate this guy for sure. We'll step this guy in for flanking bonus, step this guy in, and I'll attack with this guy first just so our back guy, in terms of Ethiopia, is the weaker of the two. And there we go. And now if Ethiopia doesn't actually reveal themselves, which I don't know how I would know if they did, because if we don't have visibility here. So maybe we finish off for this guy to step in, this guy to step and shoot, double flanking bonus. We'll have this eliminated with minimal casualties, I think. So, yeah, a little stretched right now, but I think we'll manage. Oh, that's not good. Okay. Okay, so we do not see... Oh, we do see Ethiopia. Alright. Why would he choose to come that way if we weren't blocking him? We had already established he wasn't trying to come up here. Let's do this. And this. And... this. Because we're not at war yet, I'm thinking like I would rather have him down here. But because we're not at war yet, if he comes here, I can step here and then declare war. So, yeah, let's move him up here. That way, if he is heading this way, we have a little bit more of a jump. I really do want to build another military unit with all that's going on. Gonna end up here, so I'll take a quick jog here just for visibility. Alright, we have a camp there. That's gonna be a problem. So, yeah, I think I have to build as much as I'd love to send a trade route here. Especially, oh, but we actually have quite a bit of rapport with them, so we can still get ally status without making the trade route right this second. As much as I would hate to do this, I kind of have to, just because, like, the reason why I'd hate to do it is because this is going to be my military city. Let's take a quick peek at, alright, supply remaining 2, but we're about to drop another city, and the formula is 2 for every city and then 1 for every second population, which is empire cumulative. So once we drop that city, we'll increase that complement by 3, just because we currently have an odd number. For more details on that, I think it's my German video, Snowball Germany, that explains how the math of this and what the penalties are and stuff. It's a good view. I'll leave a link in the description in case you guys want to check that out. Alright, so he was going to park up on here. We still have reason to believe we can make this work. So, yeah, I do kind of want to make another military unit here. This is going to be my military unit making city. So maybe a scout, because a scout can act as a good blocker, and I do need to get a scout out there. And its production is quicker. So I think maybe we'll use this opportunity to make a scout. Now, unfortunately, we do have to move. I think if I just defend right here, he will attack us, and it will be to his advantage. I don't know what the barbarians over here are doing, unfortunately. So let me send the worker out here for visibility. We'll come up here. Oh, good. Another civ. Maybe they will help us. Oh, yes, and they got units here. They are going to help us. Not intentionally, but okay, that's very good. Alright, so we're actually going to be pretty safe here. These guys can handle that, and that gives us time to come up here. Fantastic. We'll radar over here. Looks good. I don't want to step over, though, just because he's on a hill, and if he crosses the river, it's going to be bad for us. So let's just chill. He's hopping over here. So once we got masonry, next turn, both of these workers will get started on masonry projects. That is very nice timing. I'm so glad I had that worker come over here. I'm surprised that he's being as cautious as he is, though. There we go. That's what I wanted to see. Okay.
How happy are those whose walls already...
Alright, so if we step here, we should be able to shoot and get 2 melee attacks with double flanking bonus. And that means even if he comes here, we should be able to take him. On the other hand, if he was... Oh, he can't back up here because we got zone of control. Alright, so this is good. This is good. Unfortunately, we met Poland before this happened. If he hadn't stepped back the way he did, it wouldn't have been that way. So Poland's... I don't think Poland actually cares too much, so it's not the worst thing ever, but... Alright, now we should get double flanking bonus on both of these melee strikes. And that will be our worker. Very cool. Very cool. Okay, so let us go into archery for the wheel. So we have a lot of workers. We're dropping cities too, so I mean it's not terribly critical. I at least want archery though. Um, got 3 warriors. I don't know. I did start on strategic balance, so there's a good chance we have iron somewhere up here. I do want to find it. I'm just thinking about. We'll make one more warrior because I don't know how much iron we've got. I don't want to make just nothing but warriors, so I do want to research other military techs. Maybe going bronze working first, simply because we do have 2 workers here. And what we got? 8 turns until border growth. So we can let that occur naturally and gamble that it won't be the cattle. Or we can research bronze working and reveal where the iron is, and probably that will be the tile we grow into. Or maybe not. It's going to be on a hill, and the governor tends to dislike that. But it is a strategic resource, so that's something to think about too. Right now, melee is a little more important than archery. So yeah, I do think let's do bronze working first. And then if we do get a point where we're at our unit limit, this city can build a barracks before it continues building more. So overall, I think that's going very well. Yep. Okay. And as long as we can radar here and everything's looking good, yeah, they'll probably be able to take that out. So let's stay out of visibility of Kuala Lumpur. And let us use him to come up here. That way we're completely out of Kuala Lumpur's visibility. Yeah. I kind of want to do some more scouting over here. I think we see enough to know which one would be better. If we drop the city here, we're on our side of the river, which means we're closer and it'll be more defensible from Poland. In theory, it's not hard for them to come around here. But if we set it on the hill, not only are we more defensible, but we get the wheat right away. We get 3 good tiles right away. Whereas if we drop it here, we only get the 2. And we're on a hill, so we'll have more production. So I am favoring this tile now, but there's something to be said for that as well. In fact, I guess since we're out of movement points, it's not suggesting good settles, but... And we do want to address this as well. They're on a hill, so if we come here, they will be able to shoot us. I don't have a problem with that. In fact, it might be worthwhile to come here and heal up right next to them, because our archer is about to be freed up. Maybe. Hopefully he retreats here so I can have my warriors do it and the archer can just come over here, because if he comes here, we're going to probably need the archer to finish him off. In fact, I wouldn't risk it. I would shoot him just to make sure the crushing blow actually takes the settler. Oh, and then we also have this camp to do along the way back west. So, yeah, let's have him retreat to safety here. That way we can keep an eye on it while also... Alright, so we are stretched thin, but it does look like we're going to get this settle. So, and it does look like we're going to get this extra worker. And we do have an abundance of workers. We're planning on 5 cities within our own empire before we take another. So those abundance of workers are always going to be helpful. Anyways, that is the half-hour mark. So thank you guys so much for joining me. I hope you've enjoyed it. It's getting exciting. Looks like round 2 has begun. Let's go ahead and get that capped off before we end this piece, which would actually work out because since he's 2 tiles away, if I passed my turn, it would say, oh, what do you want to do with him? Anyways, enjoy the rest of your day. I hope you guys have a great weekend, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.